Nation. Welcome back to another episode of the Scarlet and Cream Husker podcast. I'm your host, Mr. B, Brian Knutson. Today, joining me is just Mr. KC, former Husker wide receiver Kenny Cheatham. Oh, fuck me, Kenny. It's drop a heartbreaker in East Lansing to Michigan State, 23-20 in overtime. Dude, that defense of ours, the fucking black shirts, baby. Telling you, dude, they balled out. And I'm telling you, I think the reason Mel Tucker kicked that field goal in overtime on third down is he just didn't want to chance it against our defense. They're stout, dude.
Yeah, they played well. I mean, they gave up just the one touchdown. I think when the corner kind of been on the run, and then put Miles Farmer one-on-one with the receiver, which the receiver should win 99% of the time. And he did, and he caught the touchdown pass. But other than that, man, they played extremely well yesterday, which is what we said we wanted them to do. We wanted to make them Michigan State one-dimensional, primarily a passing team. We pretty much shut down the run, which I said was a focus for me to shut down on that team, especially with that running back. I think his last name is something that they're Walker the third, if I'm correct. He had been running phenomenally this season. So for us to shut that down and to play the way that we did defensively was a big thing. I mean, defense has been holding us down this year so far. So, and offense has its moments, but the black shirts played extremely well yesterday.
Yeah, black shirts were absolutely impressive in my opinion. I mean, holding Michigan State to I haven't even looked up the fucking stats. I'm not sure what we held Michigan State to. Let's see here. What do we hold them to on rushing? We held Michigan State to 71 yards rushing. Dude, and Walker the third, he was leading, I believe, the FBS, if not just the Big Ten.
I think at like 150, 160, something crazy.
Yeah, in rushing yards per game.
Yeah, it was something crazy.
The third quarter alone, Michigan State only had one drive, 12 yards. They had the ball one time, I believe, in the third quarter.
Yeah, we had the long drives.
Whew, I got to tell you, these black shirts, man, forcing the interception early in the game on the first possession. First throw from Thorne. I mean, great coverage, great disguising by our safety, way to flow over as soon as he saw the quarterback make the decision. And Thorne just never saw him. It was, I'll tell you, and the linebackers, your boy T. Farley called their asses out last week. Man, did they fucking step up.
They played well. They played
was
well
everywhere.
And they were tackling. They were tackling. I think this game, we might have had the most tackles that I've seen watching the games this year, behind the line of scrimmage or at the line of scrimmage.
Yes.
We had a lot of big stops in that game. So the linebackers played extremely well. The defense has played extremely well the last 2 weeks. It's the other things that keep hampering us.
We're going to get to that. I'm trying to focus on the fucking positive. So, I mean, all right, aside from the black shirts, I mean, the offense, we'll get to the offensive line, in the first half. Adrian, honestly, in my opinion, played a brilliant game. There was a couple times, he may have held on to the ball instead of getting rid of it, and I know I bitched about it during the game. I guarantee I did. And really, it all comes down to the interception in overtime.
Right.
That erases every good thing he did in that game.
Yep. The moment.
It is.
What it meant and all of that totally takes away, in most people's opinion, everyone watching the game, all of the positive things he did, like breaking the tackles in the long scramble.
Oh, my God.
Stepping out of the tackles and completing passes off his back foot.
Yes.
It takes all of that away, and then it makes you say, there it is again.
Yeah. You go
Played
back.
well, but there it is again. Even with that fumble early in the game. You kind of knew where it was going with the sacks, before halftime. You said, oh, come on. Just throw it out. But I wish at that moment I'd rather he just thrown it away.
Yeah.
And then we go for the field goal instead of trying to complete that pass. He was on the run. He was thrown across his body. And,
Yeah, to be honest, he had a brilliant first half. I forget what he was throwing in the first half, but I think he'd only missed 2 or 3 passes. Then come out in the second half. And I don't know if it was the hits he'd been taking throughout the night, if it was starting to get to him, but he was starting to miss some really wide open passes.
Yeah, we had those. And then we had a couple plays I thought I saw personally where the tight end, especially 83, was running wide open.
Yeah.
Coming off the line of scrimmage. And then the first play, if I'm correct, in overtime, I think 88 was pretty much wide open. And if it was a beam ball right to him, a streamlined pass, he would have been able to catch it between the 2 defenders.
Yep.
But I mean, because at the end of the play, when you see it, it looks like the 2 defenders are by him. But at the beginning of that, if he would have just beamed it in, it would have been open. Good. But what hurt us is, to me, on that possession, like I said, we'll get to more, was the option pitch thing down there. I mean, but he played well. It's just when those things happen, you say, here we go. So, but first half, exceptionally well. Then he got banged up, came back in. Second half, had some misses late in the game. Like I said, that we saw, I'm sure everyone noticed. And that play just totally just, when it happened, you just said, here we go. It just took the energy out of you. I'm serious. It just took the energy out of me. I was like, wow.
Yep. Wow. I said, here we go. This is how we find the most unique Nebraska-esque way to blow this one.
Right.
And man, even the announcers, the guys calling the game on TV, they were starting to point out almost every single pass play in that second half. We have an open receiver just standing there all alone, and Adrian's missing it. He either doesn't see him, or when he does, it was overthrown. So
because it was obvious to us on TV. So I mean, we weren't on the field and but the pressure and all that stuff felt like, but it was obvious to us on TV. It's obvious to those guys in the booth. Yeah. I mean, they were by themselves. So what are we seeing on the television or TV that we're missing on the field? But then,
Well, all right. So, I mean, Martinez closed the day. He was 24-34. I mean, you take away the ones that he overthrew, God, he could have been like 30 of 34, easy. And this game probably wouldn't even have come down to overtime. Of course, fucking not. 251 yards, averaging almost 7.5 yards a throw, and no touchdowns, but the one factor, the one INT on the books. It's the killer. It was the killer.
Game, set, match at that point.
It was.
That was it.
And the running attack. Let's see. It's still slow going, slow developing. You see flashes of it being good. Ramir Johnson, in my opinion, played a hell of a game. He's not a huge kid, and he is going between those tackles, and he took some major pops.
Yeah, he got blasted a couple times running through there.
And he wasn't afraid to put his head down and deliver some himself either.
He had some good runs on like third down too. Yes. They got us a couple of first downs. So, I mean, we're still not, in my opinion, running the ball well.
No.
It's just my opinion. We're dinking and dunking with the runs. And I personally want to see less, even though sometimes they're effective, the less outside runs. I mean, the option plays worked a couple of times, but it doesn't look smooth. You hold your breath every time they do it. And
it's not like the old days running that play. It's just not. I mean, even referees are starting to look to see if it's a forward pass on the pitch.
Right.
I mean, Jesus Christ, if they would have done that back in the 90s in our heyday, oh my God, do you know how many plays we probably would have had called back? It'd have been crazy. All right, and we're back. A little technical difficulty there. Fucking Zoom not allowing us to go on. We freeze up. No problem. That happens. So
back in action, though, baby.
Yeah, you see a little bit of a jump there. You're not losing it. It was, I had to splice this shit together. So, all right, we were talking about the running backs. We talked about Ramir. I mean, look, not bad for him. 19 carries, 76 yards. truthfully, against Michigan State's defense, which is stout as hell, we saw it. Not a bad showing at all by Ramir. And we got a glimpse of Step for a few plays. And Morrison, once again, man, it looks like they just can't climb that depth chart since the first couple games.
Yeah, it's running back by committee. It looks like, and it appears like. So it's hard for me to understand why we can't decide on who our guy was. It looked like they did it the first game. They had Irvin Jr. It was like, oh, he's our guy. He's the starter. This is what it is. But now it seems like it's still running back by committee, or who's running the ball the best in practice, but that's all opinionated. You know, at times that stuff can be opinionated. So you, like I said, and you heard me say it the last couple of broadcasts, go with your guy and then put the rest in line to go ahead and play. That's a confidence builder for that person. Offensively, all the way around, the quarterback knows who's going to be in there consistently. And I can't keep reiterating how that affects everything from the exchange, the handoff points, how this person likes the ball, etc., the way they hit the hole, the way the linemen block, all of those things. And if a team doesn't have to focus on one running back and they're worried about multiple running backs, and none of them are as effective as we would like them to be as far as on the running game. I mean, but you can't put everything on them. You have to go up front with the line and get that push and open those holes and bigger holes for us to get those long runs. And, you know, it's kind of hard to be effective running the ball. So that puts a lot more pressure on Adrian to do a lot more running, as he does once he, you know, things breaks down, and a lot more running plays with him.
Absolutely. And you know, the wide receivers, look, Adrian spread it around in this game at 9 different targets. It looks like, you know, not just Toure, you know, he obviously loves him as a target, but Betts is starting to emerge as a favorite target of Adrian's. I think Betts had, what was it, 5 receptions for 62 yards.
Confidence, Brian.
Very much.
They weren't playing him.
He's in.
They weren't playing him. I mean, coming from the inside of playing, I know how that can go.
Yeah.
When the coach feels, oh, he didn't do this, but this guy did this, and I'm going to play him more. No, if this guy's doing this and you're in one of your, because coaches have moods too. Let's be very clear about it. Let's be very clear about it. They can have moods too, and just I just want to play this guy more to see what he can do. That's not helping your team. They don't do it. I mean, now he's playing more and he's being effective. Play the guy. Sometimes you play players and you let them learn on the fly. Some people are gamers. Some people are practice players. Practice player doesn't always mean you're the best player to be on the field. Some coaches look for demeanor in a person. Oh, the rah-rah type guys. Everyone's not a rah-rah type guy. Some guys are about their business and they go to practice and they do it and they're efficient and they're effective. And coaches sometimes overlook that. So let the kid play. It's showing.
Yep, absolutely.
The ball.
Yeah, Betts Manning had his showing. What did Manning have?
I think he had about 3 or 4 catches.
He had 4 catches for only 16 yards, but they were still effective. I mean, Manning, he's got the talent. He can get open. He's got the range. Absolutely. And we even saw Brody Belt. Jesus. What I couldn't believe was the announcer said, how does Adrian overthrow these 6'8", 6'9" guys and then find a guy that's 5'8" over the middle?
Wasn't that funny? I had to laugh myself. And overthrowing guys 6'8", 6'9",
yes,
way over their head. That's high up, bro. That's a high pass with the catch radius and their height.
Yeah, if you're overthrowing somebody like Austin Allen, who's 6'9", 6'10", I mean, geez, you've got to really be sailing it. And he was. I mean, let's not kid around. He was.
First play of the second half was the overthrow.
Yep. I was like, oh, all right, we'll let that go. Yeah, but it kept going. It kept going. The tight ends, though, I mean, they got royally utilized in this game. Austin Allen had an amazing game. Vokalek had an amazing game.
Yeah. That one catch he had was great. I like that catch. He took that from the guy. The guy could have intercepted that.
Oh, easily.
He stole that. That. That was a good catch.
Yeah. So the offensive line. All right. First half, guys. What the fuck? I mean, come on. It's well known that you constantly have false starts. I don't, did we see any holding by him? That I don't know. I can't remember.
I'm not sure. Did we get a unsportsmanlike conduct or something like that in the first half? I know we did on 97 defensively.
Yeah. He got his ass reamed for that,
which was silly.
Yes, it was.
But then, we go to that second half or the one drive and we get pushed back because of the false start.
Yep. It's the same thing. I watched Adam Carricker's gut reaction, and he's absolutely right. He's split right down the middle on it. One side of it is completely pissed off. Why can't we clean up the penalties, the shitty punts, the shitty special teams play? And the other side of him is encouraged by the defense, how they played, how the offense came out in the second half, the offensive line. I don't believe they had a single penalty in that second half on the offensive line. So whatever Frost fucking said to them in that locker room, something sunk in.
I know they got something. I think when they got the one penalty on this and they went to the sideline, I know he was on their ass. I know he was on him about that. He was over there talking to him. I mean, because how many drives have we lost this year and in the past couple of years that have stalled because of penalties and put us in field goal position? Now, hey, maybe because they were honoring the kickers yesterday and punters. Oh my God, we had a great night.
Yeah,
we had a great
Cope looked good.
Night. Yeah. Okay. Yes.
He didn't miss.
But we're hurting drives by those penalties.
Yep.
I mean, that's silly. I mean, it needs to be cleaned up.
Absolutely. At
some point, as a player, you need to take accountability. It's not always on the coach. You're the one on the field. You're the one out there jumping. Why are you jumping? Coach, everyone wants to get on Austin about those things, but at some point as a player, that is you.
That's mentally.
You're the one jumping. You're the one not focused.
Yep.
You're the one that's doing it.
And that's exactly right. That's the word, focus. They lacked focus. And dude, when when you're talking about when Frost got on him after that last one that they had, I read his lips. I mean, he just had him around him and he just goes, "Stop it." That's literally all he said. Stop it.
Right.
Like a father scolding his kid.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Enough is enough.
Oh,
enough is enough.
God.
It's ridiculous. Hey, you're something in 20, you're on the 20. Now you get false start, stuff like that. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. And what I don't get is, you look at the stats to this game. We dominated this game. All the way around.
Check this out. If you were to tell me on any level, any team, that one team had the ball for a quarter more than the other team and outgained them by umpteenth amount yards and I think 15 or 16, maybe 17 first downs, that they were going to lose a game, I would call you what my parent, we couldn't say when I was younger, my parents we would get in trouble for because they were old school, a liar. Ooh. We couldn't say that as a kid.
Ooh.
I would call you a liar to your face and double down on it with a bet. Unbelievable.
Dude, you're absolutely right. These stats are absolutely staggering. Total yardage. Nebraska 442, Michigan State 254.
It's almost 200 yards.
What the hell? Passing yards 255 to 183, rushing 187 to 71. That's the one that royally impressed me for the black shirts. Then you look at penalties. They are kind of even. We had 6 penalties for 40. They had 5 for, I believe, 50 or 44. So 1 penalty difference, a 16-yard difference. So,
but where they happen,
exactly
the difference. Where they happen,
that hurts. Mm-hmm. And like you said, time of possession. This is nuts. Almost 37 and a half minutes for Nebraska. 22 and a half minutes.
A
for
quarter.
Michigan State.
We held it for a quarter longer.
Unreal.
A quarter longer.
All right. So we talked about, I guess, whatever positives we could. Now let's just get right to the fucking bullshit. Okay. Special teams. What the fuck? How do you fall for a gimmick punt return play? First of all, the punter, come to find out, I think Pristup, I believe they said it was a fucking transfer from Michigan State. So now I want him looked into for that 7-yard punt. And then going in, and he's supposed to punt it, like you said, to their fucking right. And he kicks it to their best punt returner, number one, to the left. Granted, Michigan State did set up to try and make it look like it was going to the right. It was a trick play on special teams. It's supposed to look like that. And it worked. That should never fucking work.
Right. And it was a double. It's bad on both angles. If they set it up to make it look like that. But still, what I'm watching at the time of the punt, sometimes you need to keep football very basic. Stop all the extracurricular stuff. Stop guys running and moving on punt returns and all that silly stuff you see teams do, or these three lined up here. And this is line up straight and kick the ball down the field.
Yeah.
The guy rolled right to obviously kick it right, to possibly pin them on the side of the ball based on where the coverage was going. Now, the guys don't know. They're just running to where they're told to run. And if you can, they're not back looking at the ball. They'll get,
they can't
get blown up. So they're running to where they probably said, we're going to kick it right. We're going to kick it left. You know, on punt returns, they say, hey, we're going to set the wall up on the left-hand side. Okay, right-hand side, middle, etc. He rolls right to kick it, but kicks it to the left. And if you notice, there was pretty much only one person over that way.
Yep.
Two, maybe, once he started running.
Yeah, I think there were two, but they weren't anywhere close together.
Everyone else was to the right.
Yeah.
Now, we can say they were looking at the guy. They do that all the time when they're kicking over the end zone to make it seem like that. That's part of it. That's part of punt returning, to offset them, to make it think when it's going to bounce short or whatever. But dude pretty much had a walkway to the end zone. When I saw the ball go over there and I saw the one person in the screen, I said, that's a touchdown.
Yep, I said the same thing.
I said, that's a touchdown. Because a lot of times you don't have your fastest guys out there.
Nope.
But I literally said, oh, this is 6.
Yep.
And he pretty much almost went untouched.
Yeah, I think they might have, grazed his towel on the back of him.
Took some of the dirt off his shoes. Come on, man.
Dude, I said the same thing. As soon as he caught that thing and I saw one guy over there, I'm like, he's fucking gone.
So that's a touchdown.
I looked at my son. I said, this is how we fucking blow it. And
I just went, wow.
Yeah.
I said, this is a touchdown. Then I went, wow.
No.
Wow.
All right, then. I mean, look, defense did their job. Offense had their shot at the end of regulation. Granted, it was under a minute left. So we go into overtime.
I get that. The sacks is what hurts. But I get why he said, okay, let's go into overtime.
Felt like last week, the sacks toward the end of the game.
But I understood that, because then you don't want to be in position of where you have something, case in point, like an overtime interception happen, or a drop back and gets tackled in a fumble. As in the Illinois game, score half with this sack, fumble, touchdown. I mean, you have to play it smarter sometimes based on the momentum. So them saying, okay, we can go into this, going overtime, possibly get a field goal, which I was like, oh, don't put it in the hands of the kicker. But he had a great night.
He did.
Hopefully be aggressive, try to score. And what happened in overtime. But that goes back to me now. I'm going to get on this rant. I think this game we saw the most sideways passes we've seen all year.
Yes.
And why?
Didn't need to.
The one that Manning with the 3 tight ends, all right, and Morrison, I think it was, where he bobbled the ball. I think we ended up getting a field goal out of that.
And he had room if he'd have caught that too.
Yeah, but why? We're throwing wide passes. You're throwing the ball 15 yards wide instead of 10, 15 yards
downfield.
I think we were on what? We were on like the 10 or 15? Why?
Something like that.
The one to Manning. Why? The option pitch to Manning. Why?
Those scare me.
That's a wasted down. That's a wasted down. I mean, I'm not on the field and I'm not in the booth to say, oh, but this looks like it's going to work because I'm not looking at all the fronts from the views they have. None of us are. But at what point do you say, we're not going to try that right here? You haven't run it all game where it was successful with him.
Yeah. Why now?
It's not like a running back that has that quarterback pitch relationship.
No.
Generally. So why now? So,
it makes no sense.
It didn't make sense to me. Then what happens after that? We get the pick.
Yeah, exactly. In overtime, look, I don't know what it is about announcers saying shit during a game, but when they always bring up something like, oh, this guy hasn't missed a field goal all year. He's 20 of 20, misses a chip shot. Yeah. Thorne hadn't thrown a pick all season, and they talked about it right before he did. And this son of a bitch says all Nebraska has to do is take care of the football. Very first fucking play, Adrian throws a pick. Honestly, should have been a pick six. I mean, It really should have been. We pretty much knew what the fuck was going to happen after that, even though he didn't score. But I'll tell you what, for the defense, they did not fucking give up.
They could have easily.
Very much. They could have, as soon as they got first and goal from the 2, they could have just let him in and been like, we gave it everything we had.
Yeah. They jumped on their necks. They jumped on their necks. Did you see how hurt they were after the game? Did you see some of them just walking off the field after the field goal?
Straight out.
I don't blame them. I don't blame them.
They gave it everything. They literally did everything they could to win a fucking game. That defense.
I don't blame them. That would have hurt. That hurts. That would have hurt to been out there and say, my God, it's this. I wonder if players, if they're saying this is the same stuff.
Yes. I hope somebody said that.
Not stuff as the word. You know what word I'm saying.
It's the same shit.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean,
oh God, it was. Once again, I thought I was gonna go buy some party poppers that I could pop at the beginning of the episode for a celebration. Thought I was gonna get
you had high hopes, bro.
I did.
I tell you what, I knew the game was over after the punt return.
Yep, so did I. That's what I mean. I said we just blew it right there.
I said there it is.
Took all the momentum.
I said there it is. Here we go.
Every bit of momentum we had was completely drained right there, and all of it went to Michigan State side. But look, they played great. The defense played great. That might be the best I have seen our defense play since 2009 Oklahoma in Lincoln, when we had Ndamukong Suh, we had Jared. I mean, we just had a stacked defense full of NFL talent. And this reminded me of it. They're getting Shenander. What the fuck, dude? You've had people the last couple of years criticizing your ass horribly. And all of a sudden you've got these guys playing like black shirts.
Season group.
They are.
And they came back for a purpose.
It's encouraging to see that. My only fear is 2 weeks in a row of it. It can damage a player's psyche. I hope they don't tank after this one. I know I said that last week, but man, 2 weeks in a row like that, that's hard. You start to wonder if your best is really good enough.
It is. I think, yeah, you're right, but I think they can say it is. The other stuff is what's killing us.
The little things, just the little things, guys. Discipline, penalties.
That's what it comes down to. Discipline in football.
And a punter.
That's what it comes down to. Ooh, yeah.
Let's get a punter.
I mean,
Colt, you redeemed yourself for a game.
Yeah.
Keep the momentum going.
Right.
We'll stop talking shit about you if that happens.
We'll let you make it for a week.
Yes, you got out of the shit bag for 1 week, and Pritztup gets to be in there this week. So, and the coverage team, of course. Oh, fucking hell. All righty. Well, I think pretty much covered what we needed to cover.
Yeah.
It hurts.
Yeah.
As a
that was
fan,
emotionally draining.
Oh my God. And man, there's a few times I was yelling at the TV, clapping really loud. God, I think I probably went out for a cigarette damn near every commercial break. It was crazy.
Right.
And it was. I was dead at the end of that game, and I didn't play a single second. It was horrible.
Man,
but
I just kept going, wow. Wow.
I mean, what hurts the most is it almost seems like Frost's first year every time. It's right there. The game's in your grasp. Frost is now 0-9 on the road against ranked teams. I don't believe he's even beat a ranked team yet.
No.
So,
no.
Yeah, he's so fucking close. And the poor guy's got to be so frustrated at this point. He's just ready to tear it. You looked at him at the end of the game. You can see it in his eyes.
It would be wearing on me too, because let this sink in. Everyone listening and watching, even us too. These dudes should be 5-0.
I agree.
And he knows that. They should be 5-0. And this isn't Homer talk, because I'm not that guy.
No, you're not.
This is the reality of it. How we blew the Illinois game, how we blew the Oklahoma game, and how this game was also blown up. And if any of you are old enough in my age to remember Michael Ray Richardson, who played for the New Jersey Nets, the ship be sinking, which was his classic line, because that's ridiculous. They should be 5-0.
I agree.
Instead of 2-3, they should be 5-0. That's a hard pill to swallow.
It's not just a hard pill to swallow. It's almost like you can't. It won't dissolve. Going down, nothing. It's like a cement mixer from the bar. Just horrible. God damn it! Guys, you're there. You're there.
Think about it, Brian. 5-0. They should be 5-0
and ranked. They 5-0. They would have beat number 3 Oklahoma. They would have beat number 20 Michigan State. We'd probably be in the fucking top 10 right now, if not top 5.
At least top 15. They would have us at least top 15, top 20.
Yeah, they'd probably wait and see.
What the follow up.
Yeah.
Like they have Michigan low, kind of wait to see the follow up to what they do.
Yep.
But it should be 5-0. And I think that's what pisses people off and hurts us the most. Watching them saying self-inflicted gunshot wound.
All of it. And Illinois hasn't won a fucking game since they beat us in that season opener.
Right.
They lost 13-9 to Purdue. 13-9. 9 points by Illinois. What did we allow? 31 or so?
We gave them what?
We at least.
The fumble return, the safety.
Yep.
That's 8. And then the missed field goal, that's 11. The miss after point. Didn't he miss after point as well? Something like that.
That's right. That's right.
Think about that. You see my face? Think about that.
Oh, at some point, it almost gets to be funny. It when it's that
painfully comical.
Yes.
You're like, I knew it, but God damn it, again.
Oh man, when we had the false starts on that drive, I started giggling after each one. I'm just like, all right, I saw it coming. Fuck it, might as well be now.
Yeah. It's like they have to get it out their system.
They do. Maybe they could do what they did in Oklahoma, get it out in the very first fucking series, not take a whole first half. Dickheads.
Critical points.
God. All right. Well, fuck it. All right. Husker Nation, I think we got over this one. What do we got? Northwestern up next. Should be a tough one. Northwestern's always that game, man, that it's always weird. It's always close. I don't get it. It's like Michigan State fans probably think the same thing about us.
Yeah.
So it don't matter what the records are. Throw the fucking records out the door.
Well, Michigan State should never think that about us. I think they were 2 for 9 against us until last night. So we've been handing them their ass for a lot of years. So they need to just be quiet.
They should, yeah. If they want to talk shit, they can do it when they play Michigan. So
yeah.
That's your guys' rival. Stay the hell away from us.
Oh, yeah.
We'll just play you here and there and we'll beat you. All right. So I guess with the final thought, I'm gonna give the defense, I'm gonna give them a flat B. I'll give them a B on that one. The offense, I have to give them a C minus because of the penalties and shit. But I mean, they showed they could move the ball. They really did, and sustain drives.
Right.
When they're penalty free, they sustain some long fucking drives.
And the 15 minutes shows.
Ooh, it was nice.
the quarter more ball possession shows.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we'll close it out here and we'll move on to next week against Northwestern. So everybody, Husker Nation, we will heal from this one. The team will be all right, I believe. So for myself, Mr. B, Brian Knudsen, for Mr. KC, Kenny Cheatham, former Husker wide receiver. Us at the Scarlet and Cream Husker podcast. Follow us on Twitter at the Scarlet Cream. You can find us on Facebook. We have a fan page. Find us the Scarlet and Cream Husker podcast page. Let's see. You can find me on Twitter at Knudsen_Brian. Find me on Instagram, the Spinoff Pod. Kenny, where we find you, my friend?
Twitter and Instagram at HuskerNupe, HuskerNupe 1911, and Facebook, my name.
All right, Husker Nation, we love you guys. We will see you on the next episode. You can find us at the Scarlet Cream, and always, go Big Red.
And we'll always